Over-exercising and under-eating is becoming far too common in the quest to look like the fittest and thinnest versions of ourselves. Extreme diets are in, and many are overdoing high-intensity training to force their body into the shape that they want. But what happens when your body starts to shut down and rejects your regime? Fitness guru Nats Levy has experienced this herself and is now educating women on how to find their ultimate health through her book, Fat to Fierce, and she's with us now. Hey, Nats.
Good morning.
Does that mean you used to be fat? Fat to fierce?
It's a great question. No, FAT's an acronym for Female Athletes Triad, and that's the style of burnout that I had. So it's a condition that's it's actually been around a while, but probably it's getting more prevalent in the commercial space and environment. But gymnasts and runners, people that were driven for performance from a weight-based target would have this, and it's when there's a overtraining, under-eating, a loss of menstrual cycle, and there's a higher risk of fractures and weaker bones. That's the syndrome.
And you went through this yourself?
I did, yes.
Okay, so tell us, what did it feel like? What was the experience like? Did you know it was happening to you?
Probably when I was in the midst of the syndrome, no, because I was quite focused and driven towards a performance goal. So I was working in fitness, working in a high level of fitness where you've got to perform, you've got to not just move well, you've got to speak well, and a lot of the judgment was placed on how you look too. So when I was in the midst of the syndrome, I had no idea because I was just in that bubble, in that tunnel of trying to reach my goals. My husband and I went to a fertility specialist because we want to have a big family. It's a big dream for us. And it was from there that the endocrinologist talked to me about my hormones. And I wasn't under-eating, but I was undernourishing my body. And definitely there was too much volume of exercise. And I was just doing what my clients would do. Like there'd be a new trend out, whether it was HIIT training or whether it was yoga. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, I need to try this now. Okay, now I need to go and do CrossFit. And I was just layering stuff on top of stuff on top of stuff until my weekly volume of exercise was out of control.
So there could be women and men out there right now who are suffering from this and they just don't actually know about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Your mind's a very powerful thing, right? So if you're driven mentally, you can achieve anything, but it's like, what is that mindset going to be the best for you? And there will be symptomatic things that your body shows you. So for me, what happened is I'm naturally very tall. I don't know if you've noticed that at all, but I'm 6'2". And for me, I've always had very long arms and long legs. And suddenly, like, I became quite a round shape for my body, which was unusual. I also had a very erratic cycle, which, to be honest, I thought was just standard from working in fitness industry. Like, it's all talked about, but no one ever really publicly says anything, and that's not right.
It's a bitter pill to swallow, though, isn't it? When you're working so hard and you're doing a lot of exercise and you're told, and you think that you're doing the right thing, for it not to be working or for you to be told to do something differently, it can take a crash or a breakdown, you know, some of these horrible symptoms that you experience to make you realise that actually, running at a certain age or going to CrossFit 7 days a week, isn't that good for you?
Yeah, well, everything happens for a reason, right? Yeah. And we're so good at, I guess, burying what we don't want to listen to or acknowledge. And the beautiful thing about our bodies is that they are amazing, and they will tell you, you've just got to listen. And it's about shutting out that noise of wherever that influence is coming from, whether it's other people you know in your life or if you're really into social media. And because we're so lucky now in the age of information, we can get things just at a Google search, but it's not always the best things for us.
Is the fitness industry, you feel, too skewed in favour of body beautiful and not actually fitness for health?
Yes. There are.
How do we stop that?
Well, there's wonderful people that are working at the coalface that do it for the right reasons. They're truly there because they want to help people and help them find their joy, because movement can be powerful. It can make you feel so good. But on the flip side of that, we're exposed to so much imagery and everything where it's one body shape. And being a 6'2" woman, I can't fit into the ideal of someone who's 5'5". Why would I want to? And if I was getting there, is that healthy for me? So I do think increasing and broadening the diversity of health and what that looks like for individual structures is where it needs to start. We all want to identify with something that we can see. We want to see a bit of ourselves in everyone.
And that can change too. I think that's something that you don't, what's worked for you for a long time. You with your hormones and things change, right?
Absolutely. Hormones are powerful, right? And as you go through different ages, your body's going to react differently and feel differently. So things that perhaps served you when you were 20 years old might not serve you 20 years later, right? And you've just got to be brave enough to listen. We're such we're habitual creatures, right? We love routine. It's the path of the least resistance. So we love to follow that mind and body. You just have to listen and honour your body, which will tell you what it wants to do. So if you're pulling up more sore or getting more injured in CrossFit, maybe it's time to look at the balance or speak to someone professional that you trust or someone in your family or community that can help you.
It's funny what you say about body shape. A friend of mine was saying the other day that when people are posting photos of themselves on Instagram, which is what everyone does these days, they said it's always the hottest, tightest little packages, be they men or women, are always really short. and so what they wanted was some kind of measurement on the side so you could see how tall the person was and then determine whether that body shape was actually achievable for you at all.
Oh, I love that idea. All about the ratios, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like clothing. Like, I make 3/4 cool because I'm so long. 3/4 is the way forward. But it would be good to know that, or just have people realistically say what they're doing to achieve how they look. Because I think part of the problem and why people and clients that I've dealt with get into this state is because there's confusion. They see an image, they want that image, they want to achieve it, but then the ways and the methods that are used to achieve that are not always being spoken about.
Nats, thank you so much for that. That's Nats Levy, who's our fitness guru, and the book is From Fat to Fierce, Saving the Health Puzzle When Your Body Is Not Responding.